Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. People always ask me how I do my nails, so I wanted to show that to you. Let's just get right into it. Here I'm applying a base coat to my nails using a Model 1's base coat. The base coat's super important. It's going to help the polygel adhere to your nails, so you're going to want to cure that for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to put my nail forms on, and I use the paper forms. I just find that they work a lot better for me than the plastic forms do. The plastic forms, you have to be really careful and make sure that you smooth out the underside with them, because otherwise they'll give you like a really nasty bumpy underside. And then I also find that I just don't like the way that they shape on top. The plastic forms, of course, I don't think that they build enough of an apex, so I kind of like to do it myself. I'm using the 004 Polygel by Model 1's and 91% isopropyl alcohol, which is my substitute for slip solution, because slip solution is basically just alcohol anyway, so I just like to cut right to the chase. And this polygel is a light pink, so usually I'll use like a black or a gray polygel, but I find that they take a much longer time to cure than a lighter color, of course, at around 4 minutes, maybe 5 even. So this one I find only takes about 2 or 3 minutes to cure fully. Of course clear is going to cure the quickest, but I just like to use like a natural color or a black. So here I'm just building out my nail, making sure that I have enough polygel to build a proper apex to support the nail, and I'm going to shape them as close to the shape that I want as possible, because after this I will obviously have to file it. And I'm turning my hand over there just to kind of let the polygel smooth out. If I made it a little bumpy, I find that turning your hand over before you cure it helps. And you want to cure, like I said, for around 2 to 3 minutes depending on your lamp. I have an LED lamp. I also just personally like to cure in between each nail, just so that the polygel doesn't shift and lose shape as you're moving your hand, because it won't cure on its own the way that acrylic hardens on its own. I only put the forms around 3 nails because I use my index finger and my thumb to squeeze out the polygel, and I find if I have the nail forms on those nails, it makes it really difficult. Obviously I'll get to that point when you just have to, but I like to try and make my life as easy as possible when I'm doing my nails. You want to use the right amount of slip solution or alcohol. You don't want it to be too wet, otherwise it's gonna just slip around, slide around, or get under the nail, which is gonna cause lifting. So you want to have it a little bit damp but not too wet, and not too dry, of course, because that's gonna just attach to the gel and you're not gonna get a good result that way. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the right amount of polygel, so I find just like a little ball is good enough. It's not that a little goes a long way, but generally I do find that less is more. You don't want to have too much, or you're going to build a really, really long nail. And like I said, I like to get the results as close as possible during the building process, because I really don't like to spend too much time filing, and I always do because I'm not a real nail tech. I know what I know from experience. Here they are cured, and I'm just going to be taking off the forms now. So my thumb got to cure the least, and there's still residual polygel that's left uncured there, so I'm going to smooth it out and then throw it under the lamp again. And that's what usually happens with the darker polygel. I always have that, and then I have to cure the underside a lot. So I already did most of the filing off camera, but I'm going to finish it up on camera. So again, I'm not a nail tech, I'm not licensed, this is just how I do it personally, so please don't come for me. Here I'm just filing down the sides. I like to have them pretty smooth and pretty thin, well, on the thin side. Obviously you don't want it too thin, because then they're going to be fragile and break off. This is just how I file them, and there they are. There the baby's washed and dried, and then now we can move on to painting them or putting decals on them or whatever you like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know if you want to see any more nail tutorials, or if you don't, that's fine too. I hope to see you on my next video.